Who's actually to start with you?
Leonard, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. There we go.
All right. Thanks everyone for joining us for Super Bowl 55 media session with Buccaneers running back Leonard Fournette. We'll go ahead and get started. First question will come from Dan Moriarty at CNN Sports.
Congrats, Leonard, on reaching the Super Bowl. You've overcome a lot to reach this stage. What would you have thought if someone told you when you were living on a bridge after Hurricane Katrina that one day you'd be playing in the Super Bowl?
I'll probably tell them it was crazy. Especially just going through that as a kid. It doesn't really affect you, at that moment. But as you get older, you realize that tragic event that you went through and what we all went through in New Orleans and how far we came and how we made it out. So it's nothing but a blessing from God to help us get through those crazy times.
All right, we're going to go over to Rod Walker from the Times-Picayune.
Hey, Leonard, congratulations, man. Sort of the same thing, going from the 7th Ward to the Super Bowl, but also just you and Tyrann Mathieu's relationship, man. Just what does that mean that both of y'all are getting to share the stage together, two St. Aug guys?
It means a lot coming from New Orleans to make it where we at. Especially like guys like Tyrann. We both went to the same high school, same college, things like that. We both wore number 7. So it's like it's a big brother, little brother chemistry we have, So he's one of the greats that came out of New Orleans, also plays at LSU, and also right now in the NFL, who's playing at one of the highest levels as a safety. So it's also going to be it's always a good competition to go against each other and make each other better in the long run.
We'll go to James Wilson from Sky Sports.
Hi, Leonard. There's so many attacking options in both teams. I wanted to ask you specifically about Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Somebody like yourself who runs and catches the ball. He's doing it all in his rookie season. What are his strengths as you see them?
I've been knowing Clyde since I was at LSU, and just seeing him coming through LSU as when I was, I think, a sophomore and a junior, and always knew he had the playmaking ability. Coach Frank Wilson always put tape of him up, just showing us how he could run, catch, and pass, and how small he was, but also his strength, and it's amazing to see where he's come from, how he's producing, and which is it's no brainer he did it in college. So I'm happy for him.
We'll go to Tom Rock from Newsday.
Leonard, I saw you tweeted out or retweeted your message from, I guess, when you were a senior in high school. Is that right? What do you remember about writing that? And how often did you think about that over the past few years? And how hard was it to find it, to go back and find it?
The tweet, actually, I didn't find it. Someone else did. And actually, I didn't even remember even much tweeting that, to keep it real. And when I seen it, it's crazy how you manifest on things and you speaking into existence. So I'm just blessed to be in this opportunity I have right now to play in this big game with a lot of other great players on this team and the other team too. So I feel good, man.
We'll go over to Gene Fournette.
You said Fournette or Fournette?
Fournette.
What's up, Leonard? Your guy in Jacksonville. Have you forgotten already?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, what's up, my guy? You good?
Yeah, I am. So could you just take us through two-parter this whole past year? I mean, you're kind of the guy. You're the guy in Jacksonville as long as you're healthy. Then you get released, and then you're kind of sort of not the guy in Tampa, maybe back up sharing time with Ronald Jones, and then all of a sudden Ronald gets hurt. Could you talk about just the adverse circumstances of this season and how awkward the whole transition has been?
Yeah, so just start off from the beginning, getting cut prior 2 weeks before the season started by Jacksonville. It was upsetting moment for me and my family. This is how I feed my family. This is how I take care of them also. And just me having to understand and recognize there was also something greater for me at the end. Prior that I wasn't getting the ball like I used to, I was sharing time with Rojo. It didn't matter. I had to, like I said, I think this season was a humbling season for me. And I think I tweeted that a while back too, because when you used to participating in the wins, as an athlete and as a competitor, that's just how I am. I want to feel like I did something to help the team, not just sit on the bench and, play here and there. But everything wound up working out in my favor at the end. Me and Rojo makes a hell of a 1-2 punch in the backfield. And like I said, without him, Shady or Sneak, we wouldn't be where we at right now. Just learning from each other and understanding each other and just getting better as a whole, as a group.
We'll go over to Danny Kelly from The Ringer.
Hey, Leonard, what, if anything, has changed for you kind of late in the season? Do you feel like a light went on for you in the offense or something that helped you find your groove over the past 6 weeks or so?
No, I'm not going to say that. I always had my groove. I just didn't play a lot. I just say it's timing. God's timing, you can't rush it. What's for you is for you at the end of the day. Can no man on earth take that from you. And just for me to be in this position I am now, I'm just grateful. Just coming from being cut and now playing the Super Bowl with my new team and my new organization, it feels great.
We'll go over to Jenna Lane.
Hey, Leonard, congratulations on making it to the Super Bowl, and congratulations on fulfilling that tweet that you put out into the universe on February 2nd, 2014, when you were a high school senior. You said, "Can't wait till I play in that Super Bowl." How important was it for you to put that out there at that age and have something to work towards? And what does it mean to actually be one step closer to fulfilling that?
Yeah, I think it's every athlete's dream coming from high school or going to college or whatever on different levels, just to play in the Super Bowl. Understand it's difficult to get here. To have a guy like Tom who's been here 10 times is amazing. And I get to learn from a guy like that. And also just understanding, don't ever give up when you dream. Hard work pays off at the end of the day. And throughout all the adversity that I went through this year, I wound up helping my team, be one of the minor parts to help my team just to get there, and I feel happy about that.
We'll go over to Kendra Douglas.
Hey, Leonard. So kind of going back to the connection you have with Tyrann, I spoke with your former coach, Crutchfield, and two questions. One, do you remember the letter that you wrote before you left high school where you had 4 goals? Because he mentioned that you wrote a letter to him and you had 4 goals on them, and he didn't tell me all of them, but he mentioned you already accomplished 1. And then can you just kind of again talk about the magnitude and how rare it is that you and Tyrann have such long history and connection, and you guys get to finally play on this big stage?
I think your mic was going in and out, so I couldn't really hear you.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so I spoke with Coach Crutchfield, and he mentioned to me that you had wrote him a list of 4 goals. And he wanted to. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, and he asked me to remind you of those goals, or if you can remember those goals. He said you've already accomplished 1 of them, and so far, have you been able to accomplish the goals that you've set for yourself? And then can you talk about the magnitude?
Looks like it's cutting out. Do you want to try and answer that one, Leonard?
So the goals I've set, I really can't remember the goals that I've set. I know I wrote it on a piece of paper, for Coach Crutchfield, I want to say my junior year when he first got there. And I couldn't hear the second part of a question, so I didn't understand the second part.
I believe it was about your relationship with Tyrann and going back so far.
Yeah, so I've been on Tyrann since I was a little kid. When I was in, I think 7th, 8th grade, he was a senior at St. Aug. And just watching him play, the plays he made, the same plays he made in college, and now he's making it in the NFL. I've always been a witness of that since I was a kid. And just knowing what he brings to the table and the motivation he brought to guys like me in my class and under me, the things he was doing, it was tremendous for someone doing it at his size, So happily, I went to LSU, and I asked him and Pat P, can I wear number 7, and they gave me to go to wear it. And after that, history wrote itself. I think that's why guys wear number 7, because the 7 is the playmakers and everything else that comes with it at LSU.
We'll go to Adam Beasley from the Miami Herald.
Hey, Leonard, thanks for taking the time. I'm curious, your name came up a couple of times in the spring and in the summer with the Dolphins, first in trade talk and then potentially in free agency. Was that something that was real, or is that just kind of nonsense?
No, I don't know. That's something I gotta ask my agent. I mean, a lot of teams was calling for me, trying to pick me up. So I couldn't tell you if there was one of the teams, but I know a lot of teams were calling and asking for me though.
We'll go to Frank Schwab from Yahoo Sports.
Hey, Leonard, I just wondered, how would you describe your NFL career to this point? I mean, obviously, a whole bunch of expectations where you were drafted, hype coming in. It's been a lot of ups and downs. How would you describe how it's gone?
I think it's not done yet. It's still unwritten. The 2 years that I didn't, I've rushed for 1,000 yards and 2 seasons. The seasons that I didn't rush, like this year, I didn't play as much. And my other years, I was hurt with a hamstring. So, like I say, when I'm healthy, the sky's the limit for me. So it's been up and down, like you said, but just trying to get better throughout the years right now, focusing on this game. But when that time comes, to put those numbers up and do what I have to do to perform and be recognized, that's what I will do.
We'll go to John Reed from the Florida Times-Union. John? All right, we'll go over to Jeff Duncan.
Yeah, Leonard, I'm curious. I know you go way back. You played on a lot of great teams in your high school career, your college career. I'm curious, what's the last championship you've won? Would it go back to Goretti or something that far? And what would it mean to you to win a championship? I mean, you're one step away. I know you got emotional after the NFC Championship game, but what would it mean to you to get a championship?
Well, it means a lot, man. The last championship I won was at Goretti. I've always came up short in high school in the semifinals. Never made it to the playoffs in college. So it means a lot. Just finish off something I've always dreamed of, always winning a Super Bowl and making it back to the championship. So it means a lot to me.
All right, we'll go over to Zach Goodall.
Hey, Leonard, I know from your time in Jacksonville, you're a pretty charitable guy. You left the trophies at Rains High School, as well as the march that you helped cooperate with for BLM during the past offseason. I'm curious what you plan on doing this offseason in terms of social injustices or other charitable work.
Right now, haven't figured it out yet, but I know for sure I'm going to get back to my high school like I always do, get back for scholarships for kids to go to college, things like that. And also social justice for a point, that's never over with. So I'm always working on my team, Rock Nation, to figure out ways that we can keep this light going on and not let some voices be unheard. So I'm going to figure it out as the weeks goes on right now. Right now, just focusing on this game.
We'll go over to George Radney.
Good afternoon, Leonard. Good afternoon, Leonard. George Radney, Challenger Community News. What is it about you guys from Louisiana? You guys seem to, when you come into the league, you guys seem ready to play. You did your work, like your college was your internship or something, and you guys always seem to do well at the highest level, being in the NFL. And being with Tyrann all these years, how does that feel to just grow up with somebody and be on the big stage with them as well?
It feels great, in Louisiana, down south, that's what football is. Not just Louisiana, Florida too. That's what football at, and that's what we breed football players. And also just playing against, a guy like Tyrann. You got to understand, he was the first person, like, for me, out the city out our city who really made it big and who was doing tremendous things like on a college level. The honey badger started with the dye in his hair, things like that. And you should have seen how many people was looking up to that, admiring that, and all the plays he made. So he's definitely the first, I must say, to motivate a lot of guys, to play football he made a way, telling them, making sure the kids knowing that they can make it out, especially like myself. So he's been a real motivation to the city.
We'll go to Courtney Smith.
Hi, Leonard. How you doing?
I'm good.
So, it's Black History Month this past summer, we were going through those Black Lives Matter protests. And I was wondering if there was any music or any artist in particular that really stuck with you and, motivated you. It could be artists from the past, from the civil rights movement era, or it could be, things all the way up until now. If there's any song or any artist that have really stuck with you and motivated you.
I got a lot of friends as artists, but I think the number one song stuck on was from Meek Mill, Other Side of America. For him to have, that speech in the beginning of the song, and then him telling the real facts of coming from both sides, because I've been to the side not having no money, living in the trenches, but to having money. So I know both sides. So that's probably the only song.
We're going to go back to John Reed from the Florida Times-Union.
What's up, Leonard? Can you talk about just the difference you see in the culture being there in Tampa Bay as opposed to when you were in Jacksonville? What's the biggest difference in the culture there?
Well, I couldn't really answer that because when I was in Jacksonville, we had talent all over the board. Like we have here, we have swag. We have swag here too. So I don't know. That's a hard question. That's a tough question to answer.
We'll go over to Luke Easterling from Bucs Wire.
Hey, Leonard, how you doing?
Good.
When you look back at your, entire football career, to being a kid and playing in high school, obviously the attention that came with the kind of player you were at LSU, to the way your NFL journey has gone, what has maybe lived up to your expectations and what has been different than you expected now that you have finally, now that you're in the Super Bowl, obviously, and things have worked out in that way? How do you reflect on your entire football career and what got you to this moment?
I think my entire football career has been great. From high school, for being a number one player coming out of high school, you gotta understand a lot of guys, when that happens, a lot of guys don't live through that. They don't live up to the hype. It was number guy that helped me get through where I'm at right now. And also for me being so productive in college and becoming drafted as the number 4 pick overall, I think it was number God. That's who I can just count on with that. And I think my overall career, it's been okay. It's gonna get better and better as time goes on. Mark my words.
We'll go to Matt Matera from Pewter Report.
Hey, Leonard, congrats on reaching the Super Bowl. I apologize if you already answered this, but whether it's you or Ronald Jones doing your thing in the run game, it can't be done without the play of the offensive line. Can you just speak to how well they've played so far here in the postseason?
Oh, that's my guys, man. They've been doing their thing, the whole year. And I think a lot of the credits goes to them, from protecting us, to Tom, to getting off, to still blocking, to get the pass to the wide receiver. So their work ethic doesn't go unnoticed. I know how hard that is. So the big shout out to my guys up front who gets the job done.
All right, we'll go back to James Wilson from Sky Sports.
Hi again, Leonard. I just wanted to ask you about the Chiefs defense. What did you make of them when you came up against them in week 12? How do you hope to kind of reverse that score from that game this Sunday?
Week 12, I really didn't get a chance to play. I played, but not like talking about it. But I know they're athletic all over the board. I know it starts with number 55, 95, number 32. That's their biggest playmakers on the team. 49, he's very intelligent. So is 56. So we're gonna have our work cut out for us. They're not gonna give us anything. They've been here before. We gotta come out, on our P's and Q's. And also just understand this is not gonna be an easy fight for us. That's all we know.
Go over to Henrique Bulio.
Leonard, hi from Brazil. Congratulations on playing the Super Bowl. I was just wondering, what is the biggest lesson you've learned when playing the postseason back in 2017 that is being useful right now on this playoff run?
The biggest lesson I learned: don't take anything for granted. You know, it took me 3 years to get back to where I'm at right now. You know, so just knowing, preparation. You know, doing everything and whatever it takes just to get this W. You know, you got to play this game like it's gonna be your last game of your life. You know, because you might not get back here too often. Like JPP said the other day, it took him 8 years to get back here. You know, that's a long time. So just the little things, just understanding and also sacrificing the little things so we have big results at the end. That's my only thing.
We'll go to Colin Cronin with the Irish NFL show. We have about 5 minutes left.
Hi, Leonard. How's it going? Greetings from Dublin, Ireland. I remember when you came to play in London and you talked about the long flight. I suppose two things. One, what was the experience of coming to London like? And secondly, how nice is it to have a home Super Bowl and have the stadium across from the training facility?
Man, going to London, it was crazy. You know, on the flight, I probably woke up, went back to sleep 6 times. You know, I woke up in my mind, I'm like, damn, we still flying. Went back to sleep, we still in the air. So it's probably one of the longest flights I had. And just coming over there, it was a great experience for me. You know, my first time over there was eating Wagyu steak, and it was high. You know, I had to pay for me. I think it was me, Telvin, and Miles' food. And this overall experience over there was great. And just playing back home is a wonderful feeling, you know, to be a part of one of the first group of guys on the first group team to do this. It's amazing. So I'm happy.
All right, we're going to go over to Ron Higgins.
Yeah, Leonard, Ron Higgins, Tiger Rag Magazine. Yesterday, Todd McNair said that he felt you turned your season around.
What's up, Ryan? Oh my God.
How you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man.
All right, man. Yesterday, Todd McNair talked about how your season turned around for you when you accepted your role as part of a rotation, and it said you really took off when you kind of accepted it. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I totally agree with him.
I mean, just talk. Yeah,
and I just think it was difficult for me, you know. Like I said, you coming from a team where the offense ran through you, and you come to a team where you're like a part of the offense, you know. So it's different. So just had to accept my role and just ball. That's about it.
We'll go over to Brian DeArdo from CBS Sports.
Hey, Leonard, congratulations on making it to your first Super Bowl. It was only a couple of years ago where you were in another playoff run. Specifically, you were part of that playoff upset win over Pittsburgh. What do you remember about that game? I know Antonio had a big game. You had a big game. And what has it been like to have Antonio as a teammate the last several months?
I remember that game was cold, you know, and it was a battle, hard-fought game. And I know AB was going crazy out there. And like I said, just having guys like him as a teammate, you know, it's great. You know, you don't know the talks that we have, the little talks that we have with each other, you know, how long that goes for me, you know, and understanding and trusting the process, you know, even when I first got here, you know, he was like, man, you know you're a baller, you know, your time won't come. He kept telling me that over and over and over. And it's paying off. It's paying off, as you can see.
Back to Frank Schwab from Yahoo Sports.
Hey, Leonard, I just want to know, what was it like when the Jaguars cut you and you didn't know your NFL future? And what's it like for you now being such a big part of an NFC championship team?
It was a tough time for me, you know, going into work and someone was at the gate saying the coach wanted to see me and he just cut me. You know, it wasn't no real explaining, you know, why. It just happened. So I mean, it was a terrible feeling. You know, I took a week off, had to get my mind right, and understand. You know, try to understand why, what was going on, and also I just took time and just chill with my kids. You know, because sometimes you could get discouraged when things happen in your life, and I was chilling with my kids, and I had to just realize, you know, they're my why. You know, they're why I do this. It's just they're why I play, and this is what I'm doing it for. I'm doing it for them. You know, so I just try not to lose focus on the bigger picture of what's going on and just kept forward.
All right, our last one is going to come from Christopher Holmes from NFL Chile.
Hi, Leonard. How are you doing?
Good.
Just wanted to ask you, from talking to a lot of players, it looks like it's going to be an LSU reunion, and how special it's going to be to have so many players that you played with or looked up to, both on your team and in the other.
It's gonna be great. I can't wait to see my guy Darrell Williams. Coming out, we both graduated in class of 2014, and in Louisiana, I was number 1 running back. He was number 2 running back, and he came to LSU with each other. We was competing each and every week, and just understanding guys like him. Not just me who made it from New Orleans and who also is producing in the playoffs. It's a great feeling, man. Seeing one of my teammates from college came in with each other. We both from New Orleans. It's great. We got Kevin. We have Cyril. We have Clyde. We have Tyrann. So I think in New Orleans and Louisiana, players are getting represented all over. LSU. So it's great.
Well, that's all for today. Thanks, Leonard.
Appreciate it.